2 days. That is how long before Game 1 of the NBA Finals this footage surfaced. A 7'4" man doing underwater breath hold drills, resistance swimming, Navy SEAL-style pool conditioning, the kind of training that breaks combat athletes, not basketball players. The internet completely lost its mind. Not because it was strange, because by now, nothing this man does surprises anyone anymore. Victor Wembanyama doesn't train like an NBA player. He trains like someone who was told his body would fall apart if he didn't figure out a completely different way to build it. Methodically, over 3 years, against all precedent, he did exactly that.
I would say linking those things to directly the NBA Finals would be a shortcut, but...
The physical cost. Start with the actual body. 7 feet 4 inches tall, an 8-foot wingspan, 235 pounds distributed across a frame that biology was never designed to sustain at this level of athletic demand. Every time Wembanyama runs a basketball court, gravity punishes those joints in ways it does not punish anyone else on the floor. The knees, the ankles, the hips, absorbing the full weight of a legitimate giant on every single step, every cut, every sprint, every possession. Multiply that by 82 regular season games and 3 rounds of playoffs, and the math becomes brutal fast. The wear and tear on a player his size is not just more than the average NBA player. It is in a completely different category. He is not a slow 7-footer stationed near the basket. He blocks shots near half court. He handles in transition. He switches onto guards. Kareem was a post presence. Shaq was a force of mass. Wemby is all of it at once. The history of great big men is largely the history of bodies that broke before their talent did. When a blood clot ended his second season, his body sent him a very direct message. He heard it. His entire approach to preparation starts not with basketball, but with survival. The Kung Fu Summer. When the blood clot ended his second season, fear entered the picture. He said so directly. He was afraid of not being able to play basketball anymore. After months researching martial arts across China, India, and Japan, his agent sent him to a 1,500-year-old Shaolin temple in Henan province. The monk waiting for him, Master Yan An, a 34th-generation Shaolin warrior who had trained at the temple since the age of 6, set the tone immediately. "You play basketball and I do kung fu," he told ESPN. "If you want to be great, you have to do things that other people can't do."
You know, my goal going there was putting my body through things it's not used to do, and allowing it to widen my range of movement and strength.
Every morning started at 4:30 a.m. Forest runs. Frog jumps up a 200-meter hillside track. More than 1,000 kicks per day. Balance drills on uneven terrain. He learned the Shaolin 13 fist form, the foundational kung fu sequence built around weight shifts and striking principles. And Master Yan An customized every element to focus on controlling Wembanyama's center of gravity, generating force from any position, and resisting external forces the way a double team creates them. Evenings were meditation, up to 90 minutes, motionless, in complete silence. He reportedly collapsed from exhaustion more than once. He stayed for 13 days. "This summer," he said, "I chose to do something much more violent. What that built is visible now. The way he contorts his arms to block shots at angles that seem physically impossible. The way he drops his hips to defend in space against guards half his size. The body control that makes his 7'4" frame move lighter than it has any right to. That is not genetics. That is trained awareness, refined on a mountain in China." The underwater treadmill. His trainer Melvin Sanders built the program around one principle: generate maximum physical output with minimum structural damage. The method at the center of it, the one Wembanyama calls the single biggest difference maker in his entire routine, is the underwater treadmill. Submerged in water, buoyancy removes the impact load that would otherwise pound his joints on every stride. He still works, brutally. 1 minute at full effort, 30 seconds off, then back at it until he physically cannot continue. Every session ends in exhaustion, by design. His cardiovascular system is pushed to its absolute limit, and his joints do not pay the price. Sanders pointed to Tim Duncan, who used aquatic training throughout his career and competed at an elite level until he was 40. The rotation between the underwater treadmill, a stationary bike, and a VersaClimber means each interval drives the cardiovascular system hard without loading the structures that keep him mobile. Running barefoot on the belt adds another layer. Those stabilizer muscles in the foot and ankle build the ground feel that translates directly onto the court. In the water, Wembanyama said, there's less pressure on the joints, and it allows me to run barefoot. The Hakeem Ranch. It started at a game nobody saw coming. At the 2025 NCAA National Championship at the Alamodome in San Antonio, Hakeem Olajuwon, two-time champion, two-time Finals MVP, the most technically gifted big man the sport has ever produced, sat courtside next to Wembanyama and told him he'd love to work out together someday. 6 months later, Wemby arrived at a private gym on a 400-acre ranch in Katy, Texas, 30 miles west of Houston. A court painted Houston Rockets red, the number 34 on the floor, Spurs assistants watching quietly from the sideline. For 4 days at 2.5 hours each day, the greatest footwork teacher in basketball history worked with the player who may one day surpass everything he built. Olajuwon's framework was not what anyone expected. He was not there to teach Wembanyama to be a center. Our concept was not for big men, Olajuwon told ESPN. Our concept was big guards. You don't want to dribble like a big man. All the footwork stuff, things that look easy but aren't. But he makes it easier, Wemby said. Wemby left with a variation of the dream shake, the move that once sent Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant to this exact court to learn it. He left with post moves and leverage work that this entire postseason has been completely unprepared for. The drop step finishes in traffic, the patience before he moves, the way he seals a defender before they realize they've lost position. And he left with one piece of advice that reframes this whole story. You don't need to wait to win, Olajuwon told him. You can do it right away. If you're that good, you're gonna make your team win, regardless. Chess between cardio. The speed chess gets dismissed as a quirky footnote. It isn't. A basketball game does not just physically exhaust you, it cognitively exhausts you. The moment most athletes catch their breath between intervals is the moment they let their brain reset. Wembanyama uses that window to do the opposite. 1 minute of speed chess against a teammate, a coach, or a Spurs analyst, while his heart rate is still running hot, then immediately back on the treadmill or the bike. 6 rounds total. Stress hormones elevated. Brain fatigued. That is the physiological state a player operates in during the fourth quarter of a playoff game on the road. If you can transition from playing chess to training your body at a high level on a cardio burst, Sanders said, it makes basketball so much easier, and it makes the game so much slower to you. The mental endurance being built here doesn't appear in any box score. It appeared in every calm, correct decision he made when the margin was razor thin and the pressure was absolute. The people who see it. De'Aaron Fox came to San Antonio at the trade deadline last season and watched it from the inside. After Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals, live on NBC, he said it plainly. Everything you hear about Victor is true. He don't want to see blue light after 9 o'clock. He reads books. He's not on his phone. Like, this is real. Then he kept going. When we have games that end close to midnight, he comes to the locker room with blue light glasses on. He's like, I got to get my recovery. Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady, and Carmelo Anthony were sitting in that studio visibly taken aback. Coach Mitch Johnson put it this way. He has such a vision of who he wants to be as a player, and the commitment and investment he puts into that vision isn't something I've ever seen before. He grew up inside the culture Greg Popovich built in San Antonio. Preparation, discipline, team above everything. That culture didn't create him, it recognized him. The jersey came first. Before the MVP trophy, before anyone said unanimous, he folded that 8-foot wingspan in half on the floor of Paycom Center and nearly tore his jersey in two. That image tells you more than any number could. Then the numbers came anyway. 51% from the field this postseason. Against defensive schemes built entirely around stopping him, he made more than half his shots. From 3, 37%, a legitimate perimeter threat at a position where that simply doesn't exist. He averaged 27.3 points and 10.9 rebounds across the Western Conference Finals, won the MVP without a single dissenting vote, and became the first unanimous Defensive Player of the Year in league history. The game-by-game story reads like a drumbeat. 41 points and 24 rebounds in double overtime in the opener, 33 in Game 4, 28 in a must-win Game 6. Then the road win in Game 7 that sent San Antonio back to the finals for the first time in 12 years. Karl Anthony Towns walks into this series with a playoff efficiency rating of 28.2. Wembanyama's is 28.6. That is the margin between the two best big men in the world, squaring off for a ring for the first time. He turned 22 in January. This is his third season. He is in his first NBA Finals, and the Spurs open as a 4.5-point home favorite. The Knicks have OG Anunoby, Karl Anthony Towns, a full roster built to challenge exactly this kind of team. An 8-foot wingspan taught to move with the body awareness of a Shaolin monk. A post-game carved out in a private gym in Texas. A mind sharpened through speed chess at a full sprint. Joints protected carefully enough that he looks fresher right now than at any point in his career. Nobody in this entire postseason has figured out how to stop him. He is 4 wins from a championship. He is 22 years old, and the best version of Victor Wembanyama, the one shaped by a Shaolin mountain, an underwater tank, and a private court in Texas, is just now arriving. He is in the entry hall of his castle. Wednesday night, in San Antonio, the building begins.